Hello Virgo, this is your April horoscope. It's a busy month because this month, at the end of the month, your ruler, Mercury, does go retrograde, and we've also got Mars going retrograde at the middle of the month. So let's take a look at how all this could play out for you in the heavens. On the 6th of April, we've got Venus coming into this 8th house. There'll be a lot going on in this 8th house, and by default, always when something goes on in one house, the opposite house is always affected by reflection. So this month for you Virgos, there'll be a lot going on with your financial situation. Everything to do with money will be coming up. Now Venus in that 8th house could be some good news from somebody else, even somebody possibly giving you some money, maybe an investment, somebody investing in you, a grant, a scholarship, something like that. But with this great big focus on this 8th house for you this month, this is an opportunity for you, especially with all the retrograde action, is for you to begin to go deeply inside of yourself, Virgos, to really think deeply about, am I connecting with people? Am I deeply connecting, or am I just more worried about all the little details? Because Virgos, you do get concerned with all the little details very often, but am I deeply making the connections, the nourishing connections I want to make with people? Am I allowing myself to trust people? Am I allowing myself to not be quite so cautious? Very often, Virgos, you can be quite cautious there, quite careful. Now, that's not to say that you should throw caution to the wind, but sometimes you have got walls up there where people just can't really reach you, and then you wonder why you're feeling lonely or even already in a relationship and not making the deep feeling of that nourishing, loving connection. And these planets here are going to help you to do that here during this month. It's a wonderful opportunity for going deeply inside of yourself. It's a great time for studying your mind in some way. It's a great time for maybe learning some of those techniques that help to release your mind and all the negative thinking patterns, how to get those gone and dusted and away, and how to create something that is more positive for yourself. It's also with the 8th house to do with, and the 2nd house, to do with everything connected with your security. Maybe coming up. Yes, you may be looking at pension, you may be looking at the future, you may be looking at mortgages, loans, assets, money, stock markets, all those things may be coming up for you, and you may be looking at how you can make best use of the resources that you do have. And you may be responsible for somebody else's resources and their money as well. They may want some help from you. And Virgos, you can be very, very good at this. This is something you excel in. Also on the 6th of the month, we've got Mercury coming into this 9th house. Wonderful time for thinking about traveling, for going on a trip, for connecting with somebody, and maybe doing some overseas business that could be very profitable and lucrative for you both. On April the 7th, we've got a new moon happening in this 8th house. So new beginnings. This could be a new beginning for a partnership. Maybe you're going to get into some kind of a business partnership. Although Virgos, you do like to have quite a lot of control, because the thing is that usually people can't do things quite as well or as perfectly as you can do them. But okay, I think you already know that. But nonetheless, opportunity for a new beginning connected with money, connected with maybe your partner's money. If you're in a relationship or a marriage, there could be a new beginning for them. Maybe they get a job, maybe they find, maybe they create a business that becomes very profitable. It's got a lot of potential in it. And on April the 17th until June the 29th, we've got Mars going retrograde. Now when Mars is retrograde, this is not the best time for starting a new project. Not the best time for getting into a new romance, particularly, because what tends to happen is that when Mars goes direct, which in this case would be at the end of June, it just comes to nothing, doesn't amount to anything, doesn't really get any traction, it just fizzles out. It's also not the best time with Mars retrograde here in your 4th, certainly not the best time for buying anything mechanical for the home. It would be a very good time for putting renewed effort into any family relationships. It would be a very good time for resolving any kind of conflicts, any kind of differences of opinion. This would be great during that Mars retrograde, because when Mars is not going forwards, because when Mars goes forwards, it doesn't tend to listen to anybody. It just sees its own point of view and doesn't want to know from anybody else. When it's retrograde, there's a bit more breathing space in there. So if there have been issues around family or home, this would be a great time for getting them resolved, especially any kind of little irritations that have been going on maybe for a long time. Don't start a lawsuit. Chances are you'll lose during Mars retrograde. And also preferably don't have elective surgery. Although I must say, people that I've seen have needing surgery during Mars retrograde, it's a good time. Yeah, if you need it, you go. A Mars retrograde very often can be a very good time, but not a good time if it's choice of surgery. On April the 20th, we've got the Sun coming into this 9th house, shining a light again on you connecting with people far and wide. Maybe doing some international business, maybe publishing a book, maybe teaching, maybe sharing information, maybe getting involved in something that takes your spirituality to a higher level, your understanding, your meaning in your life. All these things, that Sun is alighting there in that 9th house. It's also a wonderful time, especially because when Mercury goes retrograde on the 29th of the month, for really reflecting on, because the 9th house is everything to do with joy, everything to do with bringing inspiration and upliftment into your life. So this will be a wonderful time. You'll reflect on that, particularly until the 23rd of May, reflecting on what brings me joy, what makes me feel great, and really becoming much more aware of that. All too often we're in certain patterns and we're not even aware of what we're thinking, and then a few hours later we're feeling jolly depressed and don't know where that's really come from. And it's not necessarily something external that's happened, it's just some mental pattern you've been repeating to yourself in your mind. I'm not lovable, people don't love me, this person doesn't like me anymore, whatever it is. It's all kinds of stuff that is repeated that then pulls you down. So this Sun is pulling you up there in that 9th house of visioning your life, having a vision for your life and how you want to see it. As the saying goes, without a vision, the people perish. So it is important to have some kind of a vision for what it is that you want to contribute and that brings you meaning. Now on April the 22nd, we've got a full moon happening here, oopsie daisy, hello, in the 3rd house. Full moon here in your 3rd house is shining a light on all the people around you. Opportunity maybe to be quite busy, to be connecting with different people around you. It's a great time for promoting anything, getting a message out there, information out there. With it being a full moon, something could come to culmination. Maybe it's a project that you've been working on for a while, comes to a culmination. Now I start to see some success with something I've been working very, very hard on. Because Virgos, you are very much the workers of the zodiac. It could be success with an exam, something you've been working towards and you get your certification. It's also shining a light again on what you're thinking about. And with Mercury retrograde from the 29th, good time for writing, for reading, for recollecting your thoughts, for revising, for reassessing things, yes? Always during the retrograde energy, it's, if you put that RE in front of a word, those are the words that will be prominent. So don't forget, Virgos, important to relax as well. You are the worker bee of the zodiac, so do keep in mind that in order to avoid some of the irritations that Mars retrograde can bring, it's just to relax, release, and allow everything just to be as it is for a while, and don't resist. So I wish you a wonderful month ahead. I think it's going to be exciting. I think there's lots of potential opportunities. I think there could be a move. I think you could be traveling, money situation changing. It's all happening, Virgos. Please do comment, do give me feedback, because it really helps me improve what I'm doing here. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful month. Bye for now.